Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to go over the dark side to manifestation. So a lot of people seem to think manifestation is this cool fairy tale thing where it's like you just have a vision board, you have affirmations, things just get done, and that's really not true at all. Those things can actually be very redundant if you don't know how to actually use them correctly. So to start off, this is very different than most of the videos I make. Most of the videos I create are usually about numerology or astrology specifically. As far-fetched as it seems, manifestation has a lot to do with astrology and numerology regardless, due to when you have to do with timing and the magic that it actually brings. But we're going to talk specifically about manifestation today, not any particular number or sign. So when you discuss manifestation, you have to first understand the laws of the universe, right? The first one you have to understand is that we live in a dual universe. Everything is dual, everything is two here, right? You have left, right, up, down, north, south, east, west. Like you always have, once you create one thing, you automatically create the opposite. So what that means, this is learned a lot in Buddhism as well, that desire is suffering, right? So as soon as you want something, the opposite will be created by the universe. And this is what's called the law of opposites. The law of opposites supersedes the law of attraction. So this is where people get confused, because everybody starts to think, oh, well, I think positive and I want this, but why is all these negative things happening to me in my life? It's happening to you because the universe wants to see if you're serious about those positive things you keep gleaming about and saying that you want. It's not going to be easy to get those things. It's going to be a lot of obstacles to overcome, and it's going to take a lot of mental fortitude in order to actually make things happen. So the thing about it is this, guys. If you want to manifest anything in life, you need 3 realms to communicate with the universe. The first realm is in the mental, the cerebral. It's called your thoughts. What you think about each and every day, you will naturally attract. What you think about governs everything that you do. The reason being, your mind is to tell your body to do this: scratch your head, punch, kick, go work, use the bathroom, whatever, right? So like, that's the thing, is your mind is the real governor. So you need to take governance over your mind. The reason why most people don't manifest is because their mind isn't actually properly governed. Your mind isn't your ally. You have anxiety, you have stress, you're perpetually thinking about bad things, then you attract more and more of that into your life. Or you'll have the old adage of, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, because law of opposites takes place. So the worst case scenario doesn't happen, the opposite does. But nonetheless, you're always caught in this cycle of just no success. The way to beat this is by taking governance over your mind, by having a purpose. This is incubation from God, from the universe, from the creator, from the prime force, from whatever you want to call it. The thoughts that you have is incubated from this universe that we live in. And through that, you will develop a vision. That vision is what's going to give you the endurance to go through the negative turbulence that you have to go through when going after a certain goal or imperative. The next thing is your word. A lot of people, when they speak in a very self-sabotaging way by saying, I think this, or maybe I'll do this. Instead of being like Nike, just do it, they're going to say some weird stuff. And like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like if somebody asks me, what are you doing on YouTube? I'd be like, I'm developing 1 million subscribers. I'm gonna be the best astrologist and numerologist in the world. That's it. Like, it's very basic to me, but it actually seems normal for me to say that because of the way I study, the way I outwork everybody else. It's not even me being arrogant, it's just my thought process. And then that extends into my words. So you have to think the same way for yourself, is what's your thought process, what's your purpose? And then how are you going to communicate that via your words? There's times where you have to conceal it because you don't want everybody knowing your goal, but you should never talk negatively about your goal very specifically. You should never do that unless there's a real anomaly situation where you have to manipulate somebody to think that you're doing bad when you're doing good, and that's just called art of war, right? But for the most part, your words and what you communicate is all manifesting. Every word that we say is going into the universe perpetually for infinite time, and that's going to come back to us like a boomerang. So understanding that, you need to save your words. You need to save your words a lot, meaning a lot of people talk gratuitously or excessively, which just means the same thing. And in turn, they end up just speaking so many things, the universe doesn't know what to actually give you. Because one day maybe you want to be a Hulk in the gym, next day you want to be a bank director, next day you want to be a pilot or an actor. You're a bit too mixed up. You got to think of what exactly do you need, and then develop those said things. That's the only way to actually find true success in life, is by looking at what you actually need, what's your purpose, and then speaking on those things in a positive way, or at least not speaking much at all if you want to conceal that purpose. You should only be speaking to people or speaking at places that are conducive to your purpose. The more you focus on not having your thoughts on anything else outside of your purpose, is the more that manifestation portal can narrow down and direct you towards your goal. The more you can avoid communicating about excessive things like what's happening with Trump or Cardi B or Diddy and all this garbage, is the more you can actually focus on your given goal in life and then attain it. Because now you just took 2 channels of manifestation and you're putting that towards a very, I'd say it's being brought forth in a very intentional way. And you've brought it down to a singularity. I lost my words earlier there, but what I'm trying to say is this. We have an infinite verse, and in an infinite verse, things are always creating because of what we're thinking, saying, and doing. I'm gonna get into the action after. But as a result of that, you need to make sure that the universe is trying to help everybody manifest. You have to look at this like an abundant thing that's infinite. So in order for you to get what you want, it's like nagging your parents when you're young. I want that candy, I want that candy, I want that candy. They say I want that candy, so they hit you. Well, black parents, they'll hit you. But the thing is this, guys, is you have to nag the universe like that. And I don't mean nag as in, when am I gonna get $1 million? It means your thoughts have to be on that. You have to be planning, doing things associated with that every single day. You have to be having discussions regarding it every single day and nothing else. And then you have to be doing things that are going to be conducive to that purpose every single day, right? Because that's how this is done, is by doing things every single second of the day that are actually conducive to your purpose. That includes sleep. Sleep's recharging. Then you're eating. You're charging your body so that it can actually perform better. Then you're going to work, and then maybe you're working on a side gig or whatever it may be for yourself. But you should always be in a state of manifesting, which is work. That's prayer, because that is true prayer. Is not really asking the creator, God, or whoever else for things. The prayer is through your thoughts, words, and actions aligning. Most people have their thoughts saying one thing, oh, I really deeply want this. Then they say something else to the world, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I could be in the NHL or the NBA, or I don't know if I could be a YouTube star. I don't know if I could be a doctor. And then their actions, they do things that are flip-floppy because their other communication realms of manifestation are lopsided. The people that win are the people that have these 3 things aligned. And that's why somebody even asked me, I'm sure they're watching this too, why do evil people win? And I'm like, well, evil people are more focused. Evil people, these elite level people, be like, oh, why do they suffer from karma? They know how to deliver karma. They're the deliverers of karma, because they understand that if their thoughts, words, and actions are always aligned onto a very singular purpose, and they just keep hitting different purposes and moving on in life, they know how to use their actual energy from the universe. They know how to bring it down and direct that infinite energy towards a singular purpose. That's what you have to do. We're all fragments of the universe. There's stardust on all of us, right? We're all fragments of God. That's why we're made in God's image. That's why all these clues are being left behind. So you have to understand multiple things here, guys. To recap, the universe is a dual place. You'll get right, wrong, left, right, up, down, whatever, right? So as a result, when you want something, be prepared to sacrifice for it. There's gonna be a lot of desires that's gonna come about that are gonna make you wanna go do vices, wanna just get away because of the stress, whole 9 yards. It's your prerogative to stay very, very focused on your goal, regardless of the negativity in front of you, regardless if it's hopeless or not. You have to keep going no matter what, right? That's how you manifest, by understanding the dual energy of the universe, the law of opposites, and then understanding the law of compensation, which means the law of attraction. And the only way you're going to attract something is by thinking, saying, and doing things that are conducive to it every single day. That's true prayer. That's how you get things done. It's very much as simple as that, guys. So understand that even when I give you guys different things like the manifestation pour, the wealth ritual, that stuff's going to help speed things up. But if you're not putting in this background work as well, you're not actually doing your best, the universe will not reward you. You have to be doing your best. And that's another big thing you have to ask yourself each day is, are you hitting your highest potential in your current situation? If you are, then congratulations. I guess you're a billionaire then, right? Because most of us are not. I'm not. Nobody is really. Because billionaires will say that they're not hitting their highest potential. So who are we to say that we are, right? So we should always be in a state of progression. And the only way to do that is by following the way of the universe. Again, the law of motion. Energy is always in motion. Everything is a vibration. So in order for you to attract these things that you want, they're always like, oh, become the vibration, or think the end result. They're giving you fragments of what's a whole picture. The whole picture is this. I'm going to conclude the video here. You have to understand what your purpose is, your vision. You have to understand what it's going to take to sacrifice for that said vision. And that's going to be part of your planning process. And then you have to align your thoughts, words, and actions each and every day to stick with the plan. Give yourself a time scale of when it should be done. If you start finding that things aren't going in accordance with plans, revisit it. If you have friends you can ask advice for, cool. If not, just have a conversation with yourself, tumble and turn with whatever the challenge is, and then make things happen. You gotta make things shake. That's the only way, guys, is again, the sacrifice of it, understand the laws of the universe, aligning your thoughts, words, and actions towards a given purpose. In the wealth rituals and so forth, I'll give you guys specific times and stuff to actually ask for things, and just different things I'm not going to give out because people actually paid for this. But that's the whole idea, is that you need to definitely be working as well, because understand one thing, guys, and I'm going to finish it here for sure. The universe only respects sacrifice, meaning like that's why the law of opposites takes place. It wants to see how badly you want it. It's not a friendly thing. It's not even personal. It's just about, there's so much people here that want to manifest something. You got to have a competitive edge. And the only way to have a competitive edge is by being willing to withstand more and more pain. You are an active muscle. Think about how you build your biceps, your calves, quads, any muscle in your body. It has to go through intense pain to build. That's the way this universe works. If you want something good, you got to go through a bunch of bad to get it. If you want something bad, it's usually pretty easy to get there. It's just a slippery slope all the way to jail or all the way to the grave. It's easy. You don't have to try that hard. You can just get high, drink some lean, and die today, right? That's how it actually is. And I don't mean that in an insulting way, but this is how it is, guys. People are always asking me, oh, why are challenges like the way they are? They're like that because of the law of opposites. And you can combat the law of opposites by staying very focused with your thoughts, focused with your words, and making sure you're tightening your actions to have competence towards your given goal. All right, so that does conclude the video for today, guys. If you have any questions for me, just please leave in the comment section. Aside from that, like, subscribe, holla at me. It's over today, guys. Peace.